guys, so as you can see, you can probably hear, back down on the allotment again today. And what we're planting out is just for you, Ian, or Grandad, as he's known by another name. These are the 9 Brussels sprouts. These are variety Crispus from DT Brown.
You have to take the labels out and put it back in after we put the plant.
We'll decide what we're going to do with labels once we've got them planted.
Okay.
These were sown approximately 6 weeks ago, so a little bit early actually. And I will be doing another sowing, much to everybody else's dismay, which will take us through into the new year for Brussels sprouts. But we're going to get these guys in. I'm going to interplant them as well with some, I think some kohlrabi as well, just because there's plenty of space and the kohlrabi will be out before it's in the way, because the kohlrabi is ready and raring to go as well. Now, you need quite a bit of space for your Brussels sprouts. They do like to spread out, and as they're a brassica, don't be afraid to plant them a little bit deeper. As with all the other brassicas we have planted, make sure that they're in nice and firm. They like it nice and firm around the base. But that one was planted up just a little bit in preparation for these going out. This was the shallot bed. Oh, just leave it there until we've dug the hole. That's why I put them all out, Rosie, so that I had the spacings. So in preparation, sorry, for this, obviously we've pulled it out, we've weeded it all, we've spread a little bit of alpaca manure. This bed was actually quite heavily alpaca manured at the start of the season, so we've just put a little bit more just on top, just for it to wash down. But aside from that, I've done nothing else special. No fish blood and bone, no chicken manure pellets, no nothing. And these are just going straight into soil. It's not a no-dig bed, it's just a raised bed. You need to keep going deeper than that.
How deep is it?
It's alright, I'll finish recording and I'll come and help you. So actually, without further ado, we'll get on with getting these in the raised bed and I'll come back to you in a minute. That's it, guys. That's the Brussels sprouts in. We've got 9 plants in there. I'm not too keen on the one in the middle back there, but it is what it is. And you know, they should be quite happy. I mean, the bed, you can do the maths yourself. The bed's nearly 9 feet long. Well, closer to 8 feet long actually. And obviously we've got 2 rows of 4. And then down this middle here, this bit that's a bit different, some kohlrabi. Now, These are very susceptible to pigeon and bird damage, so I am going to be netting this bed back over, which I'm going to do now. So, but I'm not going to bother showing you that on camera, you've seen that 100 times. So what I'm going to do is we're probably going to nip into the shed shortly. Hey up YouTube, so back again, we're in the shed obviously. All things being equal, you should have just seen me and Rosa planting out the second sowing of cabbages. What we're going to do now is we're going to plant up some seeds. Now, I am jockeying for space in my shed now because I've decided to make my shed more of a chill out space, and I'm going to endeavour to do seed sowing and things like that either outside or in the polytunnel next year. And I grabbed a free chair while it was left out for the council to collect. It's in good nick, you know, waste not, want not. So what we're going to do is we're going to plant up some seeds. Now all these seeds came free with this month's, or should I say the August release of Kitchen Garden and the July release of Grow Your Own, both of which I bought from Tesco's about a week ago, so they should be available. I'll run you through the seed packets as I'm planting. I'm not planting them all because there's stuff that is just no good for us. Oh, that's perpetual. I didn't notice. Right, okay, so that is going in modules. Sorry, sidetracked, as I quite often do. I'm not going to be sowing everything because, like I said, there's just things I just won't eat. So without further ado, well, I'll set the camera up, we'll get the modules out, we'll get the compost out, and we'll try and do this without making a load of mess. So guys, I'll see you in a sec. Yeah, my compost bag ripped open as well, so we have a real mess on, a real possibility of a real big mess in here today, so sod's law. So anyway, we're going to start. This isn't what I actually had planned because I didn't realise it was a perpetual, but we're going to start with some spinach. Sorry, I'm going to get used to this camera angle, that way. And it's a perpetual. I didn't realise it was a cut and come again perpetual. So what we're going to do, yeah, I'm going to put this in modules. No, I'm not. Am I? No, we'll come back to spinach. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. The next packet, which I'm not going to sow because it's not one that I want, is cabbage Durham early. Not going to dwell on that. The next one is dill. Not sowing that. Some sunflowers for next year. Russian Giant. They will go up on the racking because they're not getting sown today. You know what? We'll sow these. We are definitely going to sow these. So that is beetroot. Detroit 6 Rubius. I'm not going to tell you how to sow seeds, guys, because I've done that hundreds of times. Well, probably not hundreds of times, considering I don't think I've got 100 videos out yet. Not gardening ones, anyway. But, you know, standard module. I know some people are going to say you should direct sow your beetroot. I don't direct sow most things. The reason for that being is purely and simply, if I direct sow a lot of things, they never germinate because they get eaten. I'm going to do 2 seeds per module, although that one's just gone 3, and I'm going to go about a fingernail deep, so with my fingernails about 15 mil, so 1.5 centimetres. I'm close to sowing 2 seeds roughly per drill, or per module, sorry. And what I will then do is I won't thin them, and by thinning that just means picking out some of the shoots. I won't do that. What I will do is I will allow them to grow, and then once they're about ready for harvest, I'll pick out the biggest ones and I'll leave the other ones. So Sprinkle that over. Most importantly, don't forget to label your seeds. Trust me on that. Don't forget to label your seeds, whatever you use, be it recycled milk bottles, whatever you can get your hands on. Do not forget to label your seeds. Otherwise you will forget, and then you'll post in Facebook, what's this? I forgot to label it, or I've lost the label, or you know, whatever. What date are we on? 1st of July. And you'll get a load of sarcastic remarks, and it'll really upset you, and you don't want that. You just don't put yourself through that, you know. And then I'm just going to put them over. I've just got a tray of water over to one side, just to soak up. Every March, so we'll pop these up in March's space. Next up, contrary to a lot of people I know, sorry, I can't get used to this camera angle. I'm going to sow some chard. A lot of people I know really can't stand this stuff, but we've tried some this year. It got mixed results with the family. They weren't bothered about it, if you know what I mean. They didn't dislike it, but I do think it's one of those veg that you need to cook right, and this packet actually says cook the stems like asparagus. So we'll give that a go. So we'll pop some in. I'm not multi-sowing these because I don't want, I mean, I'm going to put 24 seeds in, not 24, 12 seeds in, sorry, learn to count. I'm going to put 12 seeds in, and if I get 12 plants, that'll be more than enough for us. So once again, that's another can be sown in March, so I shan't be doing another sowing of that, so that can go up in the racking for March. And that was Swiss chard. Excuse me a moment. I've really got a few of these labels. I'm quite sure, to be perfectly honest, if I told the kids it was spinach, and the kids love spinach, that for the most part they wouldn't know the difference. Apart from my eldest watches my videos, so she's now going to know. But you know what? It's between you and me, Charlotte, alright? Keep it quiet, we'll try it. The other one, this next one, I'm not going to sow. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. And then I am going to sow some radicchio. Is it radicchio? Radicchio. We're going to sow some of that. So move this out of the way. Oh, and the other packet that was in the mix was some coriander. And this one actually says it's an outdoor variety. So, but I'm not going to sow. I'm the only one in my household that likes coriander. So I'm not going to bother sowing it, not just for me. And then there's two packets left here. There's the radicchio, and then there's some peas, some Hurst green shaft, which the packet says can still be sown now for a late crop. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I would really like to direct sow them, but unfortunately my experience of direct sowing on this plot, as I have said, is riddled with disaster due to little misses. These are obviously cabbage seeds. They are tiny. I do always attempt to single sow because I'm too lazy to thin out majority of the time. I'll just go, it's right. But this isn't single sowing. But I am getting sort of only 1 or 2 per pot, which is fine. And then I completely missed the packet for putting them away, so you know. Apparently we can get another couple of crops of radicchio in, so I'm going to put this up in the racking for resowing in September. Because I like radicchio, so hopefully I can sell the kids on it. Now, it's a salad. It's a salad? Of course it's a salad. It's a lettuce leaf, so I'm not going to cover them over with compost. I'm going to use up some of this vermiculite. Some of the viewers will probably have spotted that I kind of stopped using vermiculite earlier in the season. If you go back over my previous videos, you'll see why. I was using it quite a lot, and then I did an experiment with some tomato seeds, side by side in my grow tent in a controlled environment, and the germination on the vermiculite, ones with vermiculite in, was not only worse, but also the what's the word I'm looking for? You know, I've completely lost it. The plants were a lot weaker, to the point where they weren't ready to plant out, and the other ones were. So I kind of stopped using vermiculite. I'm going to try perlite next year, because you know I use it in the same vein as a moisture control sort of to open up the compost, because this Jat's Magic is great, but it can be quite water retentive, and for things like chili seedlings, sweet corn seeds, things like that, I tend to find that water retention is actually a negative. It's not it's not beneficial. It's not desirable. These are the pea seeds that I'm putting in. Hurst green shaft. It says on the back, sow by the end of June. We are the 1st of July today, so you know, breaking the rules a little bit. I could give them a head start by giving them a soak in a seaweed solution, but I haven't got any seaweed seaweed fertilizer down here, so that's not going to happen. So they're just going to get sown. I'm going to do 2 trays of peas, so I'll get these trays of peas done and I'll come back to you with the seeds from the Kitchen Garden magazine. One of them is, I think, is really interesting. It's a winter radish, so I'll come back to you with that once I've got these sown. Right, we are back. So lots of seeds with Kitchen Garden, lots of them not really my thing, but there's a few that there's quite a few we will sow. There's quite a few I'll probably sow next year, but we're going to start with one that I thought was really interesting, and we're going to do that method from London Worms and Gardens again, where they're going to grow from start to finish in one of these. If you've missed his video, I will put a link up above. I do strongly suggest you go and check it out. I did cover it in not as much depth in one of my videos, but his video is a lot better. So I'm gonna set you to go check out his video. It's it's a bit of a strange technique, but it works. So, or at least it worked for him. So, and I thought it was that bloody good it needed to go viral, so I tried to make sure that he got as much recognition, because although I have since had people contact me say they've been doing it this way for years, it was the first I'd heard of it, first I'd seen of it. So then I saw these black Spanish, apparently a late season radish. So hopefully not too peppery, which is why I grew up French breakfast. So I'm going to get my dibber out again. I'm going to make 1.5 centimetre deep. Do try to make sure you're in the middle of the module, because these guys are going to stay in this module. They're never going to get potted on. That's what I like about this technique. So do go check out London Worms and Gardens. He's put out a couple of corkers recently with regards to sort of ways of growing things, and his worm bin videos are brilliant. He's just put out another one the other day where he composted some t-shirts in his worm bin. I think is very interesting to see what the worms will eat and how quickly they eat it. I think it's really interesting. So please do go check out his video, his channel. So there'll be a link in the cards. It's probably already been and gone by now, and there will also be a link in the description below to his channel. So please do go check it out. Also guys, I've got a couple of announcements at the end of this video. Proceed in there? Yes, I did. Please do stick around to the end of the video, or at least if you're not going to stick around to the end of the video, at least please skip to the last couple of minutes of the video. They're important announcements. They're charity announcements, but they're important announcements. So please do check them out at the end of the video, please. It would mean a lot to a lot of people. So we're going to put those black Spanish seeds in the October portion of my seed sorter, because according to the packet info, they can be sown in October. So we're going to give that a go. Like I said, I'm not going to rattle on about this technique for growing the radishes. I've covered it in a video, and so has London Worms and Gardens. I ask you, please go check out his video. The only difference between these and the ones that I did in my video is these will be staying down on the plot, whereas the others are at home. Right, a couple I'm not sowing now, but I will be sowing next year. These were all on this issue of same issue of Kitchen Gardens. So some corn or lamb, is it lamb's lettuce? No, corn salad. Some winter lettuce. Some parsley. I hope these are in shot. So they're going to go up for sowing next year now. One of the main reasons I'm not sowing them this year is because I'm very quickly running out of space. So a mixed salad leaf. They can be sown all year round. These I am going to sow some calendula or pot cornflowers. Some cornflowers I've already done, so I'm not doing any more cornflowers this year. Some turnips. Some turnips I'm going to sow later in the month, because I do like turnips. And they're sow September, so they're going to go in the September slot. So they'll probably either get sown end of September, And apparently actually I can sow these cornflowers. So I am going to do a second sowing of cornflowers in in August. Because I like cornflowers, I think they're nice. A lot of foliage for very little flower, but you know what, the bees love them, and that's more what it's about. So, but with today, the last seed sowings today, I'm just going to do a dozen calendula. I will be sowing more calendula as the season goes on, but for today I'm just going to sow 12 now, and then like I said, I will sow more later in the season. So we'll get these in and we'll get everything well watered in, and that'll be me done for today, guys. Okay guys, so slightly serious note, and I don't want to spend too long on this, but I want to ask your help. I was contacted by Jim from Jim's New Life multi-channel about a charity fundraiser for a little boy called Stan. Stan has leukemia. He's 2 years old, and unfortunately there is nothing the NHS can do for him in this country. So long story short, his parents need to take him to Singapore for his life-saving treatment. The full story is on the GoFundMe link in the description below, but the fundraiser I'm asking you to fundraise is not to just give money, it's to sponsor a gent called Ali, who is going to cycle from Land's End to Johnner's Groats carrying nothing but a £10 hammock. He's going to be sleeping at the side of the road and all sorts. So I ask you to pop down to the links below, to the GoFundMe and the Just Givings. One is for send it to for Stan, and that is a Just Giving link. I'll separate them both out in the description below. The other one is mine, which is the GoFundMe for Cancer Research UK. We are all affected by cancer in our lifetimes, be it being a victim or knowing someone who is a victim of cancer. So I would like us as growers, us as a community, to come together to do what we can for these two charities, especially at this time of year where we're enjoying a little bit of money saving. You know, we're all saving a little bit of money on potatoes and onions and things like that. So I would ask you just to give just a little bit of that saving to these charities. Links are in the description below. So I'm going to stop guilt tripping you now, guys. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to say goodbye for today. We've done a bit of seed sowing. So that is some seeds that you can sow now at this time of year for a crop this year, guys. You see me plant out the cabbages. You can still sow cabbages now. In fact, I will be doing another sowing of cabbages later in the month, and cauliflowers and broccoli. You are not too late. What you do have to be aware of if you're going to sow these things now is you do have to think, A, where have you got space for them, but also B, can you protect them? Pigeons, cabbage whites are all out in force now. You need to be able to net these things to be able to get a crop, to get a worthwhile crop. They will grow fast, and the predators will have them even faster. So that's all from me today, guys. This is either going to be going live the first week of July, or I will have gone live at the weekend and this will be the second week in July. But either way, it's not too late to be getting crops in now. They will picking the right varieties will give you a crop in autumn. So guys, for now, I'll see you later.